it's been a hot minute since I've done a YouTube video, and honestly, I never wanted to like quit YouTube. I never wanted to pause it. Like, I know I'm not like a huge name or have a huge following, but like I've said in many YouTube videos before, I like making YouTube videos to kind of just look back on it as a documentation and be like, there are so many times I've looked back on old videos to get a recipe or something like that. But yeah, so it's been a minute since we've been here, and I thought, new year, new me, flip over, new leaf. No, a lot's happened since we've last chatted. Mainly, the biggest thing that has affected my life, which everything kind of took a backseat to, was I got a new job, still at the same place, but just a new position. And it's come with I'm a supervisor now, so it's come with a bit more stress and all that kind of stuff, and things are just crazy sometimes, and between like the new job and not sleeping great and traveling back and forth every day to work and this and that and whatnot, essentially I've gained 35-ish pounds. So as I've probably said many times before, I was comfortably, in other YouTube videos in the past, I was sitting at like 160, 165, which I still do, and I still think is my like comfortable weight. So now though, as of this morning, I was 192.6. So while I will say though, I look substantially different at this like 190 pounds than I did in my previous, like when I previously weighed this, just because of the way I work out and how much more muscle I have and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of good. I am calling this series, I'm starting a new YouTube series called Road to Wellness, and essentially, I'm hoping that by next year, I'm going to compete in my first bodybuilding competition in the wellness category. That's the goal. That's subject to change though, like as I lose weight, as I start to see what my body actually looks like once I lose fat. I know I don't want to do bikini. It's just like, nothing opposed to bikini girls, but like that is just too small for me. I don't think my body is naturally built like that. So I'm looking at either wellness or possibly figure, if I can get my lats big enough. That's to be determined. We're tentatively saying Road to Wellness though. And this kind of sparked because if you know me, I've talked about wanting to do a show for like over 5 years, and just there have been reasons, mainly excuses, that I just haven't done it for whatever reason. But what kind of sparked my fire is my husband is doing a bodybuilding competition this May. And he is like hitting the ground running. He has 11 weeks left. It's the big one in Pittsburgh in May 13th, I think. And I was like, he has a coach and he has a plan, and if he's doing it, I was like, this is what I want to try and do it too, just to say that I've kind of done it, see what happens. But my body isn't in a place right now to do it this year. So me and him created kind of like a tentative year, like I have it printed out and I'll show you, but it's like a yearly schedule that has like, okay, from January 1st to the end of March, we're doing a cutting phase. And then we have like 2 months of a reversing phase to build my metabolism back up. And we've structured my workouts for, like right now I'm training for intensity, and I'll train for a block of strength and then volume, and we'll kind of cycle through it. I've also been vetting coaches myself, and as a coach myself, I'm very picky. So I'm essentially interviewing and sending emails to a bunch of different coaches, just because there's just some good ones and some bad ones. One coaching company literally told me like, well, you're too fat right now, so you shouldn't even think about competing. And I was like, I'm not giving this like a close timeline. And I'm like, that's just bad business. Like, don't call me fat. Like, I know, when you're feeling a little fluffy, yet like no need to tell me. So I've just been emailing a bunch of different companies, getting prices, because, I don't want to spend $1 million on a coach. So we'll see what happens. I'm fairly confident in my own coaching abilities, and with also having the support of my husband, kind of in his input of getting me like through this year, and only hiring a coach when it's like time to actually cut for the competition. So the tentative plan is to also go to the Olympia this year, which I'm mad because it's usually in Las Vegas, and I was like, yes, an excuse to go back to Las Vegas, but I think they officially moved it to Orlando, which is like, okay, and when we go there in November, like I want to look, if I'm being honest, I want to look good when I'm at the like biggest stage of bodybuilding in America. Like I want to look like I am fit and can fit in with everybody. I know that's vain, but it's true. Yeah, so my tentative plan for YouTube tentatively is to upload once a week. It's probably going to be longer because my plan is to probably film something small every day and just put it all into one video, maybe every other week. I don't know. Maybe some will be long, some will be short. We're just dipping our toes back in, trying this again. So we'll see what happens. But now that I'm at the gym, I should actually probably go in. Let me just tell you, stop before. I'm just going to tell you what's happening so far. So I'm using Carbon Diet Coach again. Love Lane Norton, love Carbon Diet Coach. It's an app that will actually, it's a diet coach in your pocket essentially. And they have goals for reverse dieting, regular dieting, bulking, maintaining, whatever. And every week, you input your weights every day or how often you weigh in, and it adjusts your calories and macros as needed to stay on track with your goal. I'm in a pretty aggressive cut, like 2 pounds a week to lose cut, which I would not recommend to the average person. But because I'm working in this like 1.5-year timeline, got to do certain things that I don't like, which also includes doing cardio. So, I've been doing this for 2 weeks so far. We started cardio 3 days a week, 20 minutes. There was already adjustments lower to my calories. So now cardio's been bumped up 3 days a week, 30 minutes, plus my regular lifting, bodybuilding style, 5 to 6 days a week. Roughly 1650 calories, which is like nothing, which is like, as somebody who eats like 2,500 calories to maintain, I'm eating 1,000 calories less daily, and that's just bull crap. But we'll talk more about carbs and that kind of stuff coming up, because I started drinking intra-workout carbs, which has been life-changing. My husband told me that a year ago, and I was like, no, sir, you're wrong. I'm saving those carbs for food. Well, I just started taking intra-workout carbs, and they're the best. So don't tell him I said that, but sometimes you know some things, and it makes me mad. But at the gym, gonna go hit, backs, buys, and get in a half an hour of cardio today, and I'll chat with you later. Okay, so I told myself that I wasn't going to film anymore today because why I stopped filming before was like I was filming so much and it was fun, but then it got to be a burden. But I got this package today and I'm very excited about it, and we're going to open it together and I'm going to explain just a few more. I figured I'd take care of a few housekeeping things because this is stuff in this package will kind of like, I have to explain it. Okay. So this is from a supplement company called Axe and Sledge. Gotta be careful with that knife because I just almost like, I'm going by myself for the next couple days. And like, listen, I'm in a true crime, and you probably like, when this video goes live, David's gonna be home. So, don't try and like come and kidnap me. Okay? I'm just saying, in this day and age, whatever. So Axe and Sledge supplements. I got a bunch of goodies that I'm so excited to show you. First things first, I got some of their whey protein, farm-fed birthday cake ice cream Dippin' Dots flavor. So this is whey. Let me chat to you about whey protein real quick. Since we last chatted, my body went through a funk, if you will, when it comes to whey protein, right? I used to be able to drink it no problem, perfectly fine. I don't know, like, I woke up one day and started having stomach pains, and then they just progressively got worse and worse to the point where like it was debilitating. Like I couldn't stand, I couldn't sit, I would cry, I would take like Pepto-Bismol, Imodium, like Alka-Seltzer, whatever the case is. I had multiple doctor's appointments, I had multiple tests done, no one could figure out what it was. And then my husband, God, if he watches this video, he's gonna like, he's smart and I just don't listen to him, was like, it might be the whey, either the very specific whey that you've been drinking a lot of, or it just might be whey in general. So I cut whey protein out of my diet, and like magic, I got better and started feeling better. So this is probably going to be mainly for David, but I've been slowly starting to incorporate whey protein back into my diet, because I think ultimately what it was is it could have been like the sweetener the brand was using, or it was just that I was drinking way too much of it. I don't know what the case is, but like every once in a while I'll drink a whey protein shake, and it like, I'm kind of like, does my stomach hurt? Feels a little funny, but it's not like painful if I have like one every once in a while. So we'll try this out. I'm excited about that. They have this brand too, Axe and Sledge. They have a bunch of different flavors. A lot of them are sold out. That's why I just got the birthday cake one, but I'm excited to try that. And then, as I mentioned before, they have this carb powder called Demo Day. Got the shark bite flavor. I don't know what that even means, but we're gonna try it. And this is the thing I was kind of explaining about intra-workout carbs. It's great for listen. Don't hate me if you're like pro keto. That's fine. I don't even care anymore. It's like not a battle worth fighting. But like if you're into bodybuilding, powerlifting, strongman, whatever the case is, like if you want to perform your best, if you're even thinking about competing, whatever, like you're going to need some kind of carbohydrates for your muscles to work, perform at their best, get through sets, get through reps, lift heavy weights, etc., etc., etc. My carbs right now for the day are like 140 grams, which I went from like 300 grams of carbs a day maintaining down to 140 right now, which is like a drastic change. And I used to be the kind of girl that was like, I'm not wasting 25 to 50 grams of carbs on just like a drink when I want to physically have food like rice or potatoes so it'll fill my belly up. Since like I have this goal, I am like full steam ahead, and like my workouts are so much better with this. Like the less carbs during a day, but incorporating and drinking this while I work out, it's just like I can't explain it. It's just like a complete game changer. I've only been doing it for about a week and a half. Absolutely love it. Would 100% say it's worth the sacrifice of the actual food to perform better in the gym with this. And then I also mix it with this. This is new for me too, but this is a non-stim pump. So it's good for vascularity. It has creatine in it. There's hydration in it. It's a pump, right? So the carbs combined with this, and then I normally fill up my water bottle with, I put 1 scoop of aminos in here too and mix that all together for my workout shake. And the workouts have been like phenomenal. So that's good. I don't know if I said this. I used to work out really early in the mornings, which I loved, but since I got this new job, I work until about 3 p.m. now, leave, and then go work out. So when I would work out in the morning, I would have like a pre-workout with caffeine. I'm old though now, and caffeine after like 12 p.m. Keeps me up all night. So that's why I have the non-stim pump. So no caffeine in this. I also have another package of them coming that has 2, it's called the Grind, which is like EAAs, BCAAs, and hydration all mixed. So when I get that, I will combine these together along with a scoop of that, and that's going to be my pre-workout shake. I kind of mentioned, let's talk water really quick. I love my Hydro Jug, Pro Hydro Jug. This is my 3rd one because I've like ruined and I've gone through the other 2. One of these is a half a gallon. Before starting this cut, I was drinking 2 a day, so essentially 1 gallon of water, which for the normal person is a decent amount of water. Perfectly fine. Since I started this cut, I've had to increase to 2 gallons of water a day. And like, I don't have to do that, but as time for competitions come and whatnot, you have to do a water cut. So the plan is to get my liquid/water baseline up to 2 gallons. So when I have to cut down to 1.5 gallons or 1 gallon, I'll still cut water. Right? So if I were only drinking 1 gallon a day and had to do a water cut, I would have to only be able to drink like 1 of these, maybe only even half of these to get the full effect. But if my baseline of water is a lot higher, I can eliminate 2 of these, but still drink 2 of them a day. So that's kind of the thought process there. I've been doing a lot of research on that. So that's something to keep in mind. And the last thing I got from Axe and Sledge we're going to try is, it's called Dozer. It's their sleep formula, Restore and Recovery Sleep Aid for the hardest workers in the gym. Honey lemon tea flavor. You can drink it hot and cold. I'm going to try this tonight. I'll let you know how it works tomorrow. We try a bunch of different stuff. We do a lot of CBD stuff, melatonin, like gummies, sprays. Beam, the brand Beam makes like a hot cocoa kind of drink mix that's delicious. We use a lot of Redcon brand products, and they have a sleep aid called Fade Out. Whenever I take Fade Out, it does exactly the opposite for me. So I take Fade Out and I am up until like 4 in the morning. It keeps me wired, jazzed, like ready to go. So I'm going to try this tonight, see what happens, see if I fall asleep, see if I sleep well, and I will report back to you in the morning. Yeah, I think that's it. I think tomorrow I'm going to show you my breakfast because it's the same breakfast I've been eating every day for like 3 weeks, and I love it so much, and you're going to see it and think it looks like barf and think it's disgusting. But I'm telling you, you have to try it. I'm like already so excited to share it with you. I've already shared it on like TikTok and Instagram, I think, but not on here, and I'm telling y'all, you have to try it. It's so good. It is like the perfect, it has like carbs, protein, fat, like it is the best meal ever. What else? I stopped taking birth control. That's something to note too. That's probably also why my body, so like when I got off birth control is also when I started the new job and I gained a bunch of weight. So who knows? Lots of variables going on. We're figuring it out. We're figuring it out together. Yeah, that's all I got for now. I'm going to shower tonight, eat some dinner, Probably watching another Hallmark Christmas movie, even though it's past Christmas, because I'm gonna watch all the new ones. I'll catch ya some. Okay, y'all, good morning. I washed my hair last night, so you know we're making moves. I told you I would show you kind of what, I'm not gonna show you the whole process of what I make for breakfast, but I'm gonna kind of explain it as I make it so you can kind of see it and whatnot. You only need a few things, right? So I do and like adjust the eggs, the beef, the oats, whatever, to whatever fits your personal goal, right? So I'm only gonna do, in my scale here, I'm gonna do right now only half of a serving of oats, which is 20 grams, which I always over pour. That's okay. And then I'm gonna do, I gotta figure out where my tripod is. I don't know where it is. You're propped up on a cup and the height is just like not working for me. And then I throw in 4 ounces of our meal prep ground beef. I know it sounds weird. I know. And it doesn't look that great either, so I know. A little more. And this is like, it covers a perfect amount of carbs, a perfect amount of fat. You're getting a decent amount of protein throughout the day, and it definitely keeps me full through lunch. Like, even though it's only half of a serving of oats, I'm never like, by 12 or 1, I'm still full, which I love. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and throw this in the microwave. You're gonna cook it just like how you would regular oats, same amount of water, except for I usually put it in a minute more because I have the beef to heat up too. And then over on the stove, I'm simply gonna just cook, right now I'm doing 2 whole eggs and about 100 grams of egg whites, which is like a little over 2 servings of this. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that and be back with you. All right, so it comes out of the microwave. Again, it doesn't look too pretty. Now on top of this, I'm going to add very specifically a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Again, David and I have started measuring our salt. So we meal prep all of our foods, no seasonings on them right now. I know. If he wasn't in prep or this wasn't our goal right now, we would be spices, flavoring, salt while cooking. We're measuring though now for the same reason why I explained I'm increasing my water. That way we know exactly how much salt and stuff we use. So if we have to cut salt, we know how much we're using. It's not like, well, how much salt, we just know. That being said, I'm also going to add some of this Tony's Creole seasoning on here, which has some salt. So I'm eventually going to not use this, but for now, just a little bit on there. And then I'm going to do about a serving of this salsa verde. Hold on. Okay, we're good. I'm coughing in my own food, so don't get mad at me. Okay, so I'm gonna, oh my God. Okay, serving of this. Beautiful. And then we take the eggs, so you can see there, 2 whole eggs. I did them over easy, so the yolk is kind of still dippy and whatnot. I throw that in here. Beautiful. That's what it looks like before I start it. And then I literally just come in and like get that yolk out, kind of chop up the eggs, chop. Stir it up. And like I said, it doesn't look the most appetizing, right? But I promise, even if I think like the first time I tried this was from YouTuber Julia Renee. Go ahead and follow her. She's a wellness competitor, IFBB Pro. And she was like, don't knock it till you try it. And I was like, I'm crazy enough to try it. So I did, and I could eat it, I kid you not, like every single day. I mean, I do pretty much except for weekends, but like every work day, this is my go-to and probably will be for a long time because it's quick, it's easy, I don't have to think about it. It's very easy to manipulate the carbs, fat, protein if I want to or I need to match the rest of my day. So that's what I have for breakfast. And then just so you know, I've also been adding like greens and reds. I've been using First Form, but I think next month I'm going to try the Accent Sludge ones. And then I also throw in my daily scoop of creatine in that, as well as half of a dropper of this Kryva hemp flavored supplement. It's the daytime one. It's just supposed to be like a stress reducer. Half of a dropper for me seems to be fine, so I just combine all these together, mix it up, chug that down, and then we start the day. Also, I told you I was going to tell you about the dozer sleep stuff. So it took me, I drank it last night about a half an hour before I went to bed. I drank it cold, thought it was good. the taste isn't like, oh my gosh, this is delicious, but it's better than a lot of other sleep aids I had. The flavor's like honey green tea or something like that. It took me a while to fall asleep, but I honestly think that's just because David's not here, and I just like, that dude, I can't sleep with him because he snores so loud, but I can't sleep without him. You know what I mean? So it took me a while to fall asleep, longer than normal, but once I was asleep, I was like asleep through the night. So I would give it a positive review. All right, I wasn't gonna film anymore tonight. It's Friday night. I just got back from the gym, just got out of the shower, which is why I'm looking amazing. And I was like, well, I have nothing else to film. This is when I'm gonna like pull back and not film anything because nothing exciting has happened. But alas, my friends, something exciting, which I am like still kind of not over, has happened. Missy Truscott, I'll pop like her picture here or something like that. I had a phone call with her today. Yes, like she called me and was like, hey Christy, it's Missy. Here's my cell phone number if you need to give me a call or like anything like that. And I was like, who am I? Like, what world am I living in that the 2-time fitness champion at the Olympia is talking to me right now? Long story short, she's now my coach, starting as of like now. I mean, she hasn't given me like the plan yet or anything, but I am like amazed, flabbergasted. I don't even like fully understand, and I'm still like just shocked. I'm completely shocked and blown away that little me, A, let alone talked to her, but that B, she's my coach. And she is she has a YouTube. I'll put her link in the description. She is like, I watched her YouTube videos and I'm like, this lady is like, no one's this nice, right? Like, there's no way that this lady is nice as what she seems. And on the phone, she was like, even better, which is just crazy that like somebody who is of that like caliber in the fitness community and bodybuilding community is like, and she was just saying things that like, she'd be like, yeah, my old coach, John. And I was like, excuse me, like, are you talking about John Meadows? And she was like, yeah, you know, John Meadows. And I was like, are we all on first name basis now? Because he was huge and in the Olympia and a coach to like a ton of winners and stuff. And I just like, I am blown away. So I'll keep you updated as I don't know what the plan is. I think the tentative plan is to compete next May. So May 2024 in the Pittsburgh PA show. Yes, I started using prescription strength retinol on my old wrinkly ass face. So the plan is to compete next May, maybe, unless if my body like starts looking nice and tight before then, and maybe we'll compete. I don't know. I'm just kind of like giving it to her. And like when we ended the call, she was like, "This is what we do. We coach. We win a few trophies, and then you go and coach other people." And I was like, "Yeah, that sounds good. Sounds good to me." So chatted with her, submitted my payment. She's coming up with a plan for me. You can bet your butt that I'm going to be putting on some self-tanner because she needs progress pictures tomorrow, and I'm not sending her some pasty me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to do that, put on self-tanner. Kind of just, it's a Friday night. David comes home later tonight, and just going to eat some dinner, relax. I still have a half a gallon of water to drink, and try not to pee the bed later tonight, but that's where we're at.
Okay.
David's back in town. Go ahead. What are you going to say?
Well, apparently this protein...
I talked about this kind of to them already.
But it's so incredible that I have to look at it before we can even taste it.
This is not...
That's literally what you just said. You're like, I need to get your reaction on how you look at this, how it looks.
Okay, hold on. First you have to tell them what we're doing. We're doing a taste test of the Axe and Sledge birthday cake protein that I got the other day.
Dippin' Dots
Dippin' Dots.
Presented by Frozetti the Yeti.
Frozetti the Yeti. I can't wait. I lost all of my train of thought.
Okay, yeah, we're
Well, he was up there. I was like, well, I'll get it and I'll shake it up already and get it ready in the shaker bottle. When I took it off, I opened it and I went, oh. And so we're going to get your reaction. Here's the thing, though. I think I'll like it. I don't think you'll like it.
I'm not normally a big fan of vanilla. Like,
no, but look, look at it, though.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, I see that. Why? Because there's clumps.
There's like, it's not clumps.
They're little, like,
there's sprinkles and stuff.
And
like
chunks.
birthday cake stuff.
But yeah, so that's great. And she says that, though, because I don't like chewing my shakes. I like...
You looking for the...
Yeah.
Why don't you use a knife and dig around for it?
Well, usually I can do this. One spoon. Great. There it is.
I'm going to do 1.5 servings, please.
One
Because it's almost... What time is it? 2:30, and all I've had today is a serving of cream of rice. I'm very hungry. And intra-workout carbs. Wunderbar.
There we go.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Mad shaking skills.
I get the first step.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's a good birthday cake protein. The sprinkles aren't as...
Do they like disintegrate? No, they're in there.
Then I felt one, but it's like I can drink it. Normal deal is I chug my protein shakes and Christy Sabers.
I'm gonna be interested to see if it hurts my belly.
We'll see. Because it is. Yeah, it looks like grass-fed whey protein isolate. So it should be fine actually. If it's protein isolate, then you don't usually have an issue with that. Also good to know for me because I'm trying to only do isolate.
Oh, that's right. For his competition in exactly
18 weeks. Today.
Yeah, today.
We do that now too.
So I'm probably gonna, just so you know, I'm probably gonna drink this now.
Mm-hmm.
This, which I don't know if I've talked about, but I am gonna drink this now, wait a half an hour, probably shower, and then finish the protein shake and actually eat some food.
That's a good idea.
But then after, we both had lower body days today,
mm-hmm.
And then we went to a store near us. Do you know what the name of the store is?
It's Ohio Valley Nutrition.
Yeah, and they have an in-body scanner, so I got my first in-body scanner done.
Mm-hmm.
Scan. And David's going to talk about that because he knows that stuff better than I do.
Right. So the differences between different types of body fat utilization tools are like calipers are usually have a smaller variance.
Which we have here at home and which we normally do.
Yes, we usually use body calipers.
2 weeks ago, before I started dieting, I used calipers and I was at 25% body fat. And
usually with calipers, you're probably going to, after testing, you're probably going to be a little under what your actual body fat percentage is. In-body is an electrical impedance utilization of body fat testing. It's usually going to be over what it is, and it has a higher rate of error or margin of error.
This does?
This has a higher margin of error, but it's still, if the deal with all these things is if you do it the same way, the same time, you're always going to be able to see linear results. So this will be great as a tool or a metric as long as we do it the same thing each way. So our plan is like once a month on Saturdays after we do a lower body day, eating roughly the same kind of food, going at the same time, we should be able to see good linear results of
it'll be even if it's like not accurate, it's still consistent.
Yeah, consistency is what we want more than pure accuracy. You're not going to get like complete legit accuracy unless you do a DEXA or a bod pod or underwater body fat test. Those are the creme de la creme, but they are expensive and usually only done at universities. And so, you want me to go over yours?
Yeah, dude.
So doing Christy's weight.
So hold on, wait. Whenever you go, if you're not familiar with an in-body scan, you go and you kind of, it looks like you step on a scale kind of very specifically with metal sensors, and they have these little handles, and then they, like, don't move, don't speak, blah, 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 and then you get this printout of all this kind of different information.
And what it does is it sends an electric current through your body, measuring essentially body mass, water weight, body fat, things like that. So what it doesn't account for is things like clothes and other stuff like that, so that will also show as body fat.
So something to consider when we did this, I had 1.5 gallons of water already in me. Mm-hmm. I already drank 1.5 gallons of water. I already had a meal. I had intra-workout carbs. I had my workout clothes on.
Yeah, so she was fully, but like I said, we said before, so her body weight after a fasted test this morning was up 5 pounds.
So this morning I woke up, weighed myself, and weighed 190.2. And
with this, she weighed 195. So that's what we see. You're already like, oh yeah, so she's put on more water weight. She's had some food in her. She went through the day. So yeah, you're gonna weigh more depending on when you do this. But according to this, her weight, again, 195. Her body fat was 36.3%. so roughly 10% higher than our caliper test.
Which kind of tracked with yours too.
Yes.
Calipers compared to in-body.
Yeah, right. For me, my calipers were about 11.5%, and then in-body had me at 15%. So same kind of thing if we put it in the middle, cool, whatever. Again, this is just a metric to use. And then when we go in next time, it'll have her results again. So I did this twice already.
So I don't know if you can see, like on mine, I only have one column because I've only done it once. But David's, if you look at his, he has his first time and his second time listed.
Yeah, so that's one of the cool things I like about in-body though, is that, hey, every time I go, I get to another printout. I get to see how I've compared it versus the last time. So I can say, hey, I'm lower in my body fat. I lost essentially 4% body fat, or 0.4% body fat, not 4%, that would be crazy, while only losing 0.4 pounds. So it looks like, hey, you pretty much just lost body fat, which is the goal. Try to lose body fat, not muscle. So yeah, it's just a good metric. It also differentiates the mass in your left arm versus the mass in your right arm, left leg, right leg, so we can see, hey, like I'm right-handed, so there's more muscle mass on my right arm than the left. So it's kind of a good thing for bodybuilding to see how your symmetry is. My legs are pretty much spot on. My arms, I definitely have to work on my left arm a little bit more to try to even that up.
Which is good, like he said, in bodybuilding, which we're kind of both doing now.
Right, because you need symmetry.
Because pretty much all, except for maybe one or two divisions, like symmetry is like you have to be even on your right and your left sides, and like, yeah.
If I show up with my right half like X amount bigger than my left side, then they're gonna have an issue. They're like, no, because we're trying to look pretty for everybody.
Yeah,
but that's the deal. But yeah, so I think, like I said, it's a good tool. We're still going to use calipers as well, just to kind of maintain consistency in our tracking and just have extra metrics for us to track and essentially utilize when we're making decisions on how we need to adjust our training and diet.
And this is something that I'm also going to provide to, my coach, Missy Truscott.
Yeah.
Was there anything that you were surprised with on mine?
Not necessarily. I think, again, percentage-wise, the difference between your arms was good. You have more of a difference between your arms than I think we would have thought. Mm-hmm. But no, it's just one of those things where we both know that we both kind of carry our weight in our trunk.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that, also depending on the in-body you have, the super high-tech ones can go into your visceral fat and everything else like that. But it would probably say, hey, Christy's carrying on a little bit more visceral fat than she should be, which is usually caused by cortisol, so that she's needs to de-stress as well. And the same thing for me though. And it also could say, hey,
is it because I stress you out?
No, it's just because that's how I am. This was even before I knew you. It was always like, hey, you have a little bit more visceral fat, and it's just I'm gonna be one of those guys that the very last thing to probably come off, for most guys, is gonna be this little pudge in the beginning, and then this little area of back fat back there. So, I mean, it's just, like I said, it's just a cool metric to have, cool thing to know, and I'm curious to see how it goes on through the next 18 weeks.
Yeah. And for mine, at least, yours is, I feel like I'm not as excited about yours because we looked at yours a lot more the last time you did it.
Yeah.
Something that I'm surprised about mine is that we talked about my BMR.
Oh,
my basal metabolic rate is 1589, which is in case if you don't remember or you don't know, your BMR is literally what your body burns by literally if you just lay down and you're breathing. All day. For a 24-hour period, you're not exerting energy of any kind. You can literally just lay there and your body, that's what it burns, kind of. Which is pretty high, I think.
No, it is absolutely high. Yeah. And then the other thing we noticed is usually we put her maintenance calories at around 2,400. Mm-hmm. And so when we test her TDE, we come up with a very similar BMR.
Right.
And we come up with a very similar test result. So it's good to see that years of doing this, we're pretty dialed in with what Christy's basal metabolic rate is, and then taking this and seeing this right in line with what we've always said,
which is cool because it validates our coaching.
Yeah, it
validates the science, and it's just cool when you see when you're nerding out like this. It everything just kind of matches up, and it's oh yeah, that makes sense. We've been doing it right. Cool.
Yeah, it's just one of those things it's assurance. It's a way to assure that what you're doing is actually what we think we're doing is paying off, and that we kind of know. And like I said, it's one of those things where yeah, you can get too into the weeds with these things, but having enough metrics to show progress and show degeneration or whatever, they're all necessary and they help. Yeah, you can get too into the weeds, but if you have someone who knows how to use them and how to read them and use it according to other metrics and not let one single metric be the be all end all, it's what you're gonna see from more well-rounded coaches who ultimately want to serve you and help you grow.
For sure. Thanks, pal.
Yup.
And I think think the plan, we're probably not going to record anymore today.
Okay.
The plan is just to hang out in the afternoon, and then we're going to, where we go? Longhorn Steakhouse for dinner.
We're going to eat again, and then we're going to go out to eat.
Which, pro tip, Longhorn Steakhouse, or like Outback, or are there other big steakhouses? Like that style chain steakhouses. Like bodybuilders, if you're just like looking for healthier choices, a steak isn't a bad choice. I mean, you can get fattier cuts, but like it's an easy, for the stage of life that we're in and what we're doing right now, if we still want to have date night, we just can't go to like the Cheesecake Factory and eat cheesecake, right?
Yeah.
You know, but we still can have date night and go to some place like Longhorn, because we can get pretty basic. Like I already know I think I'm getting a sirloin or filet.
Yeah.
And like the steamed asparagus and the broccoli. Like we can make that fit into what the goal is at this time, at least.
Yeah. And like I said, until I'm 18 weeks out, and probably
12
until
weeks.
12 weeks, I can enjoy something like this once in a while, and then, you know, that's part of life too, is enjoying what you can do and not sitting there like focusing so hard on the macros, and not, if you enjoy yourself and you hit like, what's the rule, like 90% of your meals as spot on,
Accurate,
and
yeah.
90 to 95, and have 10 to 5% be fun, until you're like trying to do a meal like plan for a bodybuilding show, or you're trying to make weight for a powerlifting thing. Enjoy yourself and take that once in a while. And,
This is, oh sorry.
no, just I think it's one of those things that being able to de-stress and enjoy the habit of food and eating out and going out with your wife, it's very important, so you don't end up hating what you're doing because of what it's taken away from you.
Well, and I think what we're doing right now, it's important to note too that it's not for the average person.
No,
You know
absolutely
what I mean?
not.
Like if you're like a year ago, we never would have been like this.
No.
Or if the people who we coach or whatever, we would never tell them right now to do what we're doing.
No.
Because it's literally a sport, right?
Yeah.
The sport of bodybuilding, we're literally like in the zone, trying to win competitions, win trophies, win money, like possibly money. I mean,
Yeah, maybe.
like if you place in certain shows, you do.
I know, but like
even
I'm not a
amateur
pro.
show. I know,
Okay.
but amateur show. I'm just saying, it's
I
like
got
a
you, I got you, I
possibility.
got you.
I'm just saying, if I'm like living my life with my family, and we mainly eat unprocessed food, even if you don't track, but like you mainly eat unprocessed food, you're getting fruits and vegetables, you're getting a decent amount of sleep.
Adequate protein.
Adequate protein, you're moving your body a little bit, like, and you go out to dinner, with your husband for date night wherever you want to go. You know what I mean?
Enjoy it. If you're eating out every night, then that's a different issue. But if you go out once every other week, even once a week, and you're not being dumb about it, like don't do the whole, well, it's the weekend, nothing counts, but like enjoy one meal. Cool. Enjoy a really good night out. Have it. Don't drink in excess, and then come back right to your plan.
Yeah. Cool.
Yep.
Okay. Thanks. We're both very hungry, and we're getting testy with each other. You didn't see that off camera, but we are. So that's what we're gonna do. All right. So we're gonna wrap it up here. I actually did my hair and makeup since we're getting ready to go out now, but I finally got my meal plan. David,
Take my omegas.
how many meals have you had so far?
Excluding
4?
intra and stuff, 4.
4. So he ate his 4th meal to go out and eat his
5th meal.
But we're going to Costco because of our meal plans, and we cleaned out our freezers so we can put all of our chicken breast and ground beef. Yeah, so we're going to make a Costco trip, grab all that stuff, go out to dinner. That's going to wrap up this week. I'm still going to do like a fairly cutting plan tomorrow, but officially start the meal plan on Monday, and that'll just be in a whole new video. So until then.